opportunity.
Okay, nice. So for the whole world, Luke is a crypto expert. He's real. It's not a scam. I met him in person. He came to my retreat in Panama City. And I've
Yeah, it was
seen all
fun.
of his mentees and all of his students and all the success that he's creating for others and the ripple for the collective consciousness. Wow.
Yeah, it was a great
Amazing.
spot. I love that. Well, you call it an island. I know it's not an island, but it kind of is an island. That little spot of paradise. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool. Dropping the codes. Woo!
yeah.
Everybody, you can 20x your money. 50,000 can turn into a million. Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's no guarantees. You have to have fun with it, and you can't invest all them. You don't go into this full on. But if you diversify into it in a way, the opportunity is definitely there. I feel anyway, like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Yeah, it's exciting times. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, the
okay.
crypto market's growing now. I can feel it. It's got an energy field where it gets this momentum, and eventually it pops and it just goes off again like it has previously. I think we're at the beginning stages of that. So by the end of the year, it'll really be high again. That's how I feel anyway. It feels the same, really does. So yeah, it's exciting
Okay.
times, and yeah, it's just helping as many people as I can prepare for that now.
Oh, cool. So is there any like new edge of excitement?
Yeah, this stage event, I think it's between 300 and 350 people where I've got to do a kind of self on stage talk. So it's kind of much like we visualized when I was working with you, it's kind of
Right.
telling my story. So going back and telling the story, and my story, and I've got to present that on stage, and then basically, yeah, self on stage from that, add some value and education. You've
Oh,
probably been to these
cool.
sort of events where everybody runs to the back of it. It's by Success Resources. If you've heard of this company, it's one of the biggest ones, like Tony Robbins uses. So it's a big opportunity, but it's scary, yeah, as well. There's a bit
We
of
like
fear.
scary.
Yeah, a lot of scary, yeah, yeah. So it could be a big expansion from there. Yeah,
Okay,
that's exciting.
cool. So, okay, nice. We're gonna like treat this as one of those stage things. So how would you like me to introduce you? Like as crypto expert, I'm gonna say past student. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever you feel, I'll just go with the flow. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. I would be like King of England. You're like, I'll go with the flow. I'll go with that. I'm a King of England. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
nice. Hmm. Dun, 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 dun.
So you want me to
Well,
go with the flow, tell my story, or
yeah, yeah.
yeah, a big old practice session. Yeah, yeah, that'll be
Right.
good.
I think the intro is just, I'm gonna just set me asking you like how they want me to introduce you. That's gonna be the intro. They like that. They're already watching. Cool.
Good.
So yeah, like perhaps from the start, like when you got out of your mom's womb.
It'll probably take a few hours if we do that when I'm 50 next month. Oh, no, next month. So it might take some time to do 50 years worth of story. But yeah, I can start from, I think a good place to start will be back when I got my second business, which was in the salon industry, hairdressing industry. My wife's a hairdresser. I did the business side to that. I've always been that entrepreneurial. Never left school, and I was kind of like, I didn't know what to do. Everybody was saying, you need to know what you do when you leave school. And I just wanted to have abundance. I wanted to make money. So one of the businesses I got into was that because she had a clientele, a mobile clientele cutting hair. And I was like, we can expand this. We can have salons and get a team. And I worked really hard, like 18-hour days to make that all work for years. We built it up to a couple of salons and like a academy where we train people, or she trained people. I did the business side. We had about 30 employees, and it was exciting at first, but then it started, that abundance never really come. I was always chasing it. It was chasing the money and chasing the money. And
I see.
we kept reinvesting, and it's like we're still working 18-hour days, and it's gone like 10 years now. When's this ever going to end? Um, and I started to burn out more at that point. It was kind of, I need to find a better way of doing
Okay,
it.
I'm coming up with some
Yeah. So,
intuitions. Like, oh my God, it got unblurred. Oh my God, hilarious. Okay, so how much were you making at that point that you felt you were exhausting yourself, but you were already in crypto business?
Well, for me, I grew up in like poverty in a working class family. So most of my family just had jobs where it was to make ends meet. So having a business was, from the outside in, it looked like we was pretty successful. But it
Right,
weren't really that much. It was probably by the time we'd finished with it all, we had enough to go on some nice holidays, take the kids to Disneyland and things like that. So it weren't we weren't in poverty.
right,
But deep down, I kind of wanted abundance. I wanted time and location freedom, and I wanted to be enjoy life and do what I wanted. Or I knew there was more. I don't really know what it was, but I wanted something different. It didn't feel like what I wanted. I weren't clear on what I wanted was probably the thing at that
right. But
time.
it was still like an upgrade from like coming from poverty.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I grew up with we had to keep turn the lights off, turn the heating down. There's no money. It was don't eat all the food. And it was, there was no money when we was younger. It was a small council, what's called a council house in England. It's like the government provide this house. It's tiny. It's
nice.
yeah, one of the bedrooms is like the size of a cupboard. It's a small house it was, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And yeah, I mean, from there, I guess, yeah, looking for another way, something happened that was pretty painful and traumatic for me. My mum got cancer and had kind of 6 months to live, and she was only like 49. So kind of for me, it was like it was pretty painful at the time, and I pushed all that grief into working harder. So I kind of processed it. I didn't process it, I guess, because it stayed there, but it was kind of like, okay, I need to work harder and harder now. I need to keep going
Right,
and just push because life's too short. What if I die at 49? Not yet. I'm 49 now, but, but that panic was there. It was like, it might happen to me. To make it even worse, like a year later, my dad died of a heart attack. He was like 59. So it was that on top of that was like, okay, oh my God, that might happen to me as well. I've got to make my life count now.
right,
So I guess that got to a point of like high blood pressure, stress, and that. I don't know if you've been in one of these situations where you kind of like, I've got to make a decision to make some kind of change. Something's got to work here. There's got to be a way to find, there's got to be something else out there.
right,
More than this, just this like, you've got to work harder, you've got to work harder. So I started to look for another mentor. Well, I didn't really know what a mentor was at the time. I've already read books and read business books and things like that. And I've read things like Think and Grow Rich, but I didn't really understand it enough I weren't ready for it,
right,
I guess. Found this mentor online that appeared after looking at lots of videos. It was almost like, what do they say? When the student's ready, the teacher appears. And this guy was saying things in different ways. So I joined his like, I guess it's a mastermind, like is the way I describe it, like a mentorship of a community that for 6 months where you paid a high ticket price. And I was like, when I heard the price, I was like, I can't afford that. £5,000, which is, I don't know, $7,000 or whatever.
right,
It was like, that's just too much. But they taught me into going along with it, saying, you can pay in bits and this will change your life. And I thought, I'm going to give it a go. My wife was supportive of it. She said, try it, like it may change things. Because I was depressed at the time and just had enough. And it did really change things. It opened mind up to spirituality and the law of attraction and all that sort of stuff. You didn't have to work this hard. You just had to be clear on what you wanted and forget about the how. The how was kind of none of your business. And this
right,
really spoke to me in a new way. It was like, I'm going to try this stuff out. And then the more I did try it, the more I guess it started to work because stuff started to happen and shift. First, I found the crypto 9 years ago, about 9 or 10 years ago now. During that time, I was still working on the salon, so I started investing in it, and it was like a hobby. I've always been into technology, and it was like I was doing that on the side as running the salon, and I started to get some progress with that. And also, what else happened about time? Yeah, the mentorship was big, and then I think the shifts, well, things started to happen. Like salon started to go backwards. Like we had to close one of them down. But I started to approach it from a different perspective. Learning this new stuff, it was kind of like, oh, this might be a good thing. This might be, let me embrace it. And then other things started to happen, and the crypto started to going up, and I started to dream about helping people, educate people in crypto because I saw the how it's going to grow. I could see that already.
right.
And yeah, it changed. We ended up, to cut the story a bit short, it'll go on forever, but the crypto went so high, it went from kind of 5-figure investment to like 8 figures over that 9 years. It just kept growing and growing. It was expanding. All of a sudden, I had abundance, and I was like, "Fuck, now what?" I don't really know what to do now. We started looking at all these big houses, and we went around these big houses, and it was like it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like our kids are grown up. We don't need a big, massive house, or I don't know, nothing really. It wasn't what I thought it was. It was kind of like, okay, we'll buy some nice things. I spent like, can't remember how much it was now. I bought some Gucci bag light and things like that, and it was like that felt pretty good. But it was like I never spent that kind of money in my life on a rucksack, you know.
Right.
Two K, I think it was. So a lot of places I put the money was in self development, more of that because I thought I just want more of this. What else is out there? And I started to realise that it's all about growing and contribution rather than what the ego needs. And that it's things started to expand the deeper I got into that. And I guess finally we made the decision to get rid of that business and move to London and really take the crypto kind of coaching seriously and really help as many people as I can expand the world through that because I knew it was going to carry on growing and it has done. It still is now, really. It's still early stages for crypto. It's not
Nice.
an opportunity that people have missed.
So
It's
to
still being
recap,
adopted.
cool,
Yeah.
and translate, see if I heard it right. So when you hit like 5 to 8 figures in crypto, you were like, oh my God, abundance money, whatever, luxury bags, big house and whatnot. And then you're like, it's not about this. And then you're like, what really makes me happy? And then you were contribution, service, coaching, mentorship, education, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to have nice things. At
Yeah,
first I
yeah.
felt like a bit like, guilty about having them, but then I've learned to enjoy that as well. So yeah, there was
Cool.
some growth in that, but maybe for the reason of not becoming egotistic about it, just that actually, I can have that. I can have things nice if there's no reason why you can't, I guess. Um, yeah, and today I feel everything's shifted since then. Really, really has done. Still growing, still learning, still expanding, but yeah,
Yeah, that's the beauty. I mean, I feel all those successful people I talk to, they are perpetual students, and the broke people are the ones full of pride that are like, oh, I can't be a student. And I'm like, the people at the top on the light, they were always learning and helping each other. Yeah, that's how it is.
yeah.
Nice. Okay, so perhaps tell us about your crypto services, like which are the ones that you enjoy educating more about.
Yeah, I love opening people's mind up to it. I believe right if you're getting in right now, this is the kind of last chance of the time before we see what's called a parabolic move upwards, where parabolic meaning it just starts going up like crazy. And I don't know, there's lots of ways people describe this pendulums, egregores, an energy that
Right.
builds into this this friction that because it goes two ways. It pendulums a bear market when it's consistently going down and down and down, and everybody goes into despair and depression about it and hates it because all the money's kind of gone down. And I've gone through this process many times, and then it expands even further and just grows bigger. It's kind of it's a journey, so it's a roller coaster ride, but you can take advantage of that
Fun.
roller coaster and the volatility and the risk to make amazing gains. To really expand your wealth. A 10x is quite easy. So you can put, say, I don't know, there'll be different people listening to this, but say $50,000. If you could 20x that,
Nice.
that's $1 million. And that can happen in as little as sort of 12 to 18 months if you know the system to do
Heck
it.
yeah.
Yeah, and it can happen. It happened to me and it's happened to many people. And that's being, what is it, controversial? The word it's being like, it can do more than that. It can do more than 20x. Some of these cryptos do 1,000x, which it's quite much harder to do the math, but and most people don't put 20, they don't put $50,000 on one. You do sensible or sensible. Yeah, you can have to have fun with it, but you manage your risk. Certain cryptos are less risky than others. Everybody's heard of Bitcoin, maybe that's not going to go as up as high as the ones you've not heard of. That are more
Cool.
innovative and newer. Yeah, so I enjoy, I guess, opening people's minds up to the opportunity and giving them confidence and clarity and understanding it much more. And I guess investing it safely and managing that risk and also managing the security around it. Because when we're younger, we taught to believe if something's too good to be true, it probably is. But crypto is both of those things. It's too good, and sometimes it is because there's a lot of scammers. It attracts a lot of scammers.
Nice.
So that this allows them to sort of manipulate the situation because it can be too good to be true. So people fall for this like a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Okay, nice. So for the whole world, Luke is a crypto expert. He's real. It's not a scam. I met him in person. He came to my retreat in Panama City. And I've
Yeah, it's
seen all
fun.
of his mentees and all of his students and all the success that he's creating for others and the ripple for the collective consciousness. Wow.
Yeah, it was a great
Amazing.
spot. I love that. Well, you call it an island. I know it's not an island, but it kind of is an island. That little spot of paradise. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool. Dropping the codes. Woo!
yeah.
Everybody, you can 20x your money. 50,000 can turn into a million. Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's no guarantees. You have to have fun with it, and you can't invest all them. You don't go into this full on. But if you diversify into it in a way, the opportunity is definitely there. I feel anyway. Scams easier, but within that,
Oh,
there's also these opportunities that are too good to be true that kind of are. It's almost a gold rush situation, and almost.
cool. And what do you enjoy the most? Managing it for the people, teaching them how to do it? Which different types of groups and offers do you
Um,
have?
yeah, all those really. I mean, I do free workshops that give them a taster. I do paid for workshops that give it's like a total of 9 hours, which is spread over kind of 3 weeks in little 90-minute sessions in bite-sized pieces because it it's breaking down that it's tech. Not everybody can absorb technical stuff. It can become quite dry. So I need to make it fun and interactive, and breaking it down to 90-minute sessions seems to work best. That can give people all they need really to at least get a good start themselves, give them the fundamentals. And after that, there's
Yeah,
an offer, but there's an invite. If you're open to it for a mentorship where you can either get me to do most of it for you, or you can take part in a mastermind or peer group where you can cut down on the amount of research you have to do and kind of do the buys and sells yourselves and build a portfolio, which is kind of just a system to manage the money and help it grow. Or you can just basically get me to do it for you in that sense. So I'd manage it for that portfolio for you. And I do that for lots of different types of clients. All depends on the client's needs really and how they need what they want. So I normally have a consultation after a workshop just to get an understanding of what they need and what they want.
I see, I see. And to
Yeah.
see if I got it right, then you also explain them how to do them themselves too. So if, I mean, they already 20x the money and then they want to do something else, they're like, okay, I can do it solo with your knowledge kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean the 3 week workshop won't give you everything. It's not going to be. It's like anything. You have to continually learn. Like it's ever expanding. But the 3 week workshop will give you a good start and knowledge to. In 9 hours, you can learn enough to get the fundamentals, the basics to avoid a lot of the pitfalls that many people will face if they're just going to it blind and have a go at it. Just watching a few YouTube videos, you're gonna run into problems that way. It's like a wild west or a jungle. If you don't have a guide to take you in there, you're gonna get bit by a snake or something. It's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
don't
You know,
get bit by the snake. You need Luke for that.
yeah, you need a guide. And that's like anything, isn't it? It's best to find a mentor or someone who can sort of guide you into it. So yeah, the 3 week workshop is kind of a intro. And then
Cool.
if you're open afterwards, the mentorship's an offer that comes afterwards. It's not for everybody. It depends on what your goals and needs are and how much money you're putting into it and how much commitment you want to put into it as well for the mentorship.
I
So it's not,
see.
yeah.
Nice. Okay, so people would mainly contact you and then you would hop into a discovery call with them and then they will choose if they want to do the workshop and take it from there.
Yeah, that's
Or,
usually
or
a
they
good
could
start.
invest right away, right?
Yeah, there's no reason why they couldn't invest right away. I like to build a bit of trust up in my teaching. It's good to spend time with me first, but I'm happy to, yeah, you can go straight to the mentorship if you're open to it and if the call goes well and I want to serve. So I don't want to just take people's money. I want to make sure it's right for them and right for me and the
Oh, right.
connections
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I enjoy working with consciousness people because I think that they're going to do better things with the money. So most of my clients are like that. They've got bigger visions of what they're going to do with this money. They don't want to go straight to Ferraris or they've already got that and they're looking for other ways to sort of expand out and add to Like, for example, I've got a lot of clients who want to create the vision of expanding conscious communities and buildings and things like that. It's exciting to work with those sort of people, you know. Um,
Nice. So what I'm hearing is you need to have a good vision of what you want to use the money for. If not,
yeah,
Luke won't
yeah.
allow you into his program.
I like the
Right.
the whole wealth consciousness thing is just it's been a big discovery for me and finding out what that really is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
You're basically saying you're not gonna help a criminal 20x their money. That's what you're saying. You're just like, can't be a criminal. Nice. Okay, I love that. And what's the price for the workshop if somebody asks?
yeah, workshops, $997 for the 3 week workshop.
Wow, amazing. Oh, that's really good. Wow.
Yeah, you get 9 hours in total on that. So it's a good intro, as I say, for
Wow. I don't
beginners.
see how not the whole like collective can not do that. I mean, I feel like they need to do that.
Yeah, it's a good price and it's a good workshop. It'll give you a lot of information. If you're the kind of person who can run with that, you could use that to expand on that knowledge. And if you're prepared to put the work in yourself afterwards, it'll give you a good start. You know, it'll give you the tools and if we again using the jungle analogy, it's tools that you'll be going in with. It's
I
like
can
going in
see
the
the
jungle with
people
me for
going to the
God. Yeah.
safari
But if
and
you
they
don't
have
come
like
into
a
the
little
mentorship,
thing.
I'm kind of leaving you. I'm leaving you afterwards with the tools. But like, so you've got to do it yourself. So there is work to do afterwards. Does that make sense?
Or I just saw you leading this group of like a trillion people, and then you give them a bunch of tools, and then you're just like bye, and you're left like in a hot air balloon. You're like, you got
Yeah.
it.
I like these analogies. They're funny. Yeah. The whole
They
Yeah, and a
never
lot of
jump
people
drives.
come in. A lot of people do get in the balloon and go, because they come on the mentorship because it is good to get in a peer group, and that's one of the experiences from my story. Be able to be
Yeah,
around an environment where you continue learning and growing
right.
is so important. Mentors are so important to me anyway, personally.
Of course.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
hard
And
to
then
do things alone.
I just see them, you're like, bye. And the moment you're like leaving, you're like, wait. You're like, well, this is the mentorship. Okay, so what's the price for the mentorship?
It varies. I mean, it just depends on the client's needs. It ranges from the kind of container where it's a group we get on each week and chat crypto, and I've researched some cryptos and people are sort of posting
Cool.
about cryptos. It's not like your usual ones. A lot of these groups are just crazy chaotic. If you go on Telegram and you've got all these messages coming up about people hyping coins up, it's more conscious than that. So it's a good group, and we have a lot in there. It's a year commitment. So that's do you want me to give prices? I don't normally give prices until after I've done the workshop usually.
Okay,
But
nice. I like that.
yeah, because it's good to encourage people to want to do that, because sometimes if you mention a price and it don't resonate straight away because they don't understand it enough, it kind of causes this contraction. Does that make sense?
Oh,
I think you're best to sit the workshop and see if it's right for you first before you come into the mentorship.
I see that. Cool. I
Yeah.
like that system, that ladder or that boundary of energetics. Kind of like, okay, let's see if it works good for you and for the other person as well.
Yeah, I tend to feel it's best to at least sit the workshop, invest. It's not a huge amount of time because it is broken up, but I feel people get better results because when I've took people into the mentorship without doing that, there's too many questions and they're scared and there's a lot of fear because they don't understand it enough. So, and there's a lot of fear around money for people sometimes and
Okay,
investing in
okay.
something they don't
I
understand.
hear
Yeah.
you. I
Uh,
hear you. But that would be like for a person that's scared. What if there's someone that it's not scared and it's ready? Then instead of giving the price right now and the talk, whatever.
yeah, they can skip that and we can just get on a call and then we can talk price based on what you invest in, what your needs are. Because there's lots of different options. So it's quite customized, if that makes sense. It's
I
quite
like that.
customized individual. Yeah, if I've got clients that are putting maybe like 100K in trying to make a 20x, or clients that are just putting maybe usually it's a minimum of 10,000 you're looking to put in to make it worthwhile,
Yeah,
to take part in the mentorship. I've tried to serve clients that only want to put $500 or only $1,000, but I can't serve them in the right way because obviously they can't afford a year's worth of mentorship because they've not got enough.
right.
You need fuel to invest.
Of
Does that makes
course.
sense. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh my God. Yeah, everything makes
Yeah.
like I'm seeing the lights in all of the little things of your world. Cool. Nice, I see it. And
Yeah.
just want to make sure everybody that's watching them, yeah, it's not worth it for those people. I mean, of your time, they need to respect your time, and yeah, of course.
Yeah, and you can't win the lottery. It's you can try and bet on a few coins with $1,000, and you may hit one of those ones that go up a lot, but you've got to really diversify correctly and spread your money out in a certain way that catches enough of the ones that give you an average of 10x or 20x or whatever you're looking to get. Whereas,
Nice.
yeah, when I was trying to serve people who are kind of not got a lot of money at all, there's a lot of scarcity and fear, and they only want to put a small amount in. It's hard to work with those, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
need. Cool. Yeah, yeah, that's for the workshop 997. Cool. And if somebody here is listening and they want to invest instantly $100,000, then hop on the call to see that your intentions are pure for the collective, and then you may take them as a client.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. I love that. Okay. So, where they can find you?
Um, Best place is I've got a website which is crypto hyphen. That's that little kind of line that sits in the middle. I don't know. Some people don't know
Cool.
that, but coach.co.uk. So crypto hyphen coach.co.uk. And you can email me at info at crypto hyphen coach.co.uk because it's a UK website. That's probably the best place. I'm on Instagram as well. I
Nice.
don't know if you could post that address. I do some posts on there, but most of the time is spent in that peer group and that container really. So yeah, it's all been sort of recommendations and just getting into communities, and it's the kind of way I've been building the clientele up at the moment. Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
love
There's
it.
not a bunch of advertising out there or anything.
No, no, no.
No,
At this point,
no.
this everybody comes to you. Like when you are in this high frequency and you're succeeding and allowing people and increasing their money and happiness and joy and everything, they just like are, you're magnetic, so it's easy.
Yeah,
You're like, yeah, I'll take that.
I like that. Yeah,
Cool. Well, yeah, it feels like that's complete. I'll set the links in the description for your website and your Instagram, and whoever feels called to be part of the 9997. No, 997. I just added another nine. That's okay too if they want to do that. That one is for the discovery call.
yeah, yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Luke, for sharing
Thanks.
these codes and your journey with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's been great to see you again, and yeah, I enjoyed it.
Cool. Yay.
That was
Okay.
fun.